Hello and welcome. I am Vaibhav Shah and our today's lecture is about AutoCAD. In today's lecture, we will be learning about the user interface of AutoCAD and we will be learning about each and every draw commands. So let us begin first with the user interface of an AutoCAD software. So what do you mean by user interface? So when you first open your AutoCAD, you will be having one startup screen. So I will be giving you a complete introduction of your startup screen of your AutoCAD in this first section. So let us begin by understanding the startup screen of your AutoCAD. So when you start your AutoCAD, you will be having this screen as you can see. So now in this screen, you can select your first the starting of your drawing. So by clicking on the start drawing, you can start your drawing. Now by clicking this down arrow, you can open the previously loaded templates by AutoCAD. Now you can open the files by clicking on open file option and open a sheet. You can open the sheet. Now on the right hand side, on the recent documents, you can see your previously drawn documents. So here these are the documents. On the right side, you can see these are the notification tabs for your subscriptions. If you have a subscription, you will be getting the notification there. Now on the left hand side, you have the create and learn tab. So in create tab, you can draw, and by clicking on the learn tab, you have some previously shot videos by Autodesk which you can use to learn the different features of AutoCAD, or you can learn what are the changes in new version. So we will be using this create. So let us go to create and let us click a start drawing. So you will be having this screen. So let us understand a different part of this AutoCAD screen. So first on my left hand side corner, I will be having an application icon. Then I will be having a quick access toolbar. Then it is a drafting and annotation tab. So you can press down and you can open any of the mode, 3D mode, to draw your 3D objects. On the right, I will be having one down arrow key. By pressing this down arrow key, you can switch on and switch off the menu bars. Now this is showing the version of my AutoCAD. So I will be using my version which is 2021, which is the latest version. Now, so this is your drawing.dwg. So this is known as your title bar or your task bar. So you will be having your titles there on your title bar. So now here I will be having a name as drawing1. So drawing1 is my file name and it is denoted by .dwg extension. So always remember, in AutoCAD file you will be having extension as .dwg. On the right hand side, you can see this is a search tab. You can search any of the keyword of AutoCAD. On the right, I will be having my login details. So now this is nothing but your menu bar. So you can select any of the options from your menu bar. Down the menu bar, you will be having a ribbon section. You will be having a different ribbons into your tabs. You can press into a different titles and you can have different ribbons. We'll be using basically draw, modify, then you will be having annotation for drawing the dimension. You will be having a layers, then block, then we'll be having a properties, then groups, then utilities, then clipboard and view. So these are the things into your ribbon. This is the most important ribbon. This is a file tab, so you can have multiple number of files by pressing just plus. So you can draw multiple drawings with the same tab. This is a view cube, so you can have different views of your drawing by the view cubes. This is your navigation toolbar, so you can navigate throughout the window in the AutoCAD. On the down there, you will be having UCS icon, Universal Coordinate System icon. On down there, you will be having most important thing, command line, where you will be writing the command. This is a layout tab, so you can press in layout 1 and layout 2. You will be having one graded pattern like this, so you can draw your any objects in this graded pattern. We will be using the model thing. Now on the left hand side, and the right hand side bottom, you will be having status bar. In status bar, you can grid on and off. So you will be having grid on and off. Then you will be having ortho mode. So you will press F8 to switch on and off the ortho mode. You can draw a line at 90 degrees. This is known as your polar tracking. So you can have a reference point at particular degrees in your drawing. This is very helpful tool. Then after we will be having isograph. So by use of isograph, you can actually create the isometric drawings. So it will change your cursor direction like this. So you can change. You can directly change by F5. So you can have a different plane generator. You just need to press the F5 from your keyboard, right? You can draw isometric drawing by the help of this isograph, right? Then after we will be having a snap point. So snap point means it's the nearest points surrounding your cursor, so it will provide you the nearest points while in the drawing. So it is very important to next a snap point. Then after we'll be having object snap points, so you can define which snap points you want. So these are the list of snap points while drawing. So you need to check on and off these snap points. On the right hand side of your screen, you will be having a few of the more icons like your scale icons, and the lastly would be customization icon of your screen. So this is nothing but your user interface. This is known as your cursor or your pick point. You can draw by the help of this one. Now, the window in which we will be drawing, it is known as your workspace. So this is nothing but the workspace in which we will be drawing our object, right? So it is very much easy. So by keeping this understanding of your user interface screen, let us begin first with the very first commands, a draw commands. So draw commands. So draw command means we'll be practically drawing any of the objects by the help of this draw command in AutoCAD. So let us learn draw command. So first command would be what? A point command. So now I can select point command by different ways. So I can select it from draw toolbar. So press draw toolbar, go down there, and you will be having point command. If you click point command, you will be having two options: single point and multi point. So if you select single point, you can draw only a single point by the help of this command, and then command will terminate. And if you select your multi point, then you can draw more number of points, and it is on your wish when you want to terminate the command. You can go into your draw toolbar there, and you can find out the multi points directly from there. You can even go to your command window, and you can just type in PO, enter, and you can have your point command activated. You can directly click on your screen, or you can directly go to the screen and write down just the PO and press enter. You can activate your point command, right? So you'll be selecting from your draw toolbar. So let's click on draw toolbar. You'll be selecting your single point. After selecting single point, you should just define the points wherever on the screen. So I'm selecting the point somewhere there, and as you can see, the point is actually invisible, right? So now to see point very clearly, we should create one selection window by pressing left key, and you should drag the box and you should release your clip. So we'll be having this point selected. Now you can see the point. Now let us suppose I need to draw multiple points. So let us select multi-point command from your draw ribbon. So I will be going into draw, and I will be selecting multi-point, and let us draw more number of points by this command. So I will be drawing one more number of points. Anywhere you can select the points. So let us select few random points for understanding, and to end this command, you should press escape to end the point command. If you don't press escape, the command will go on and go on. It will not terminate automatically. Now these points are also invisible, so let us select by pressing the left key, and let us make this box blue box, and let us release the click, and you can have these points already. Now let us suppose if we need to change the size and the shape of these points, then what to do? So let us type P, type and enter. So you will be having this box generated, and practically by this box you can select any of your cursor type, and you can even change the size and press OK. So you can see on the screen we are having number of points generated of a different size, and you can select any point by clicking on this point itself. So it was point command. Now let us move to our next command, which is what? A line command. So you can practically draw a line by help of this command. So you can select line from your ribbon, you can go to drawing toolbar, and you can select line. You can even go to command window, you can write down L and enter, press enter, and directly go to screen and L enter. So we'll be selecting a screen, L enter, and we'll be having our command activated. So it is saying that specify first point, so you should select somewhere first point. But before that, if you need to draw horizontal or vertical line, we should activate your ortho mode. Ortho mode means you are having this command on the right hand side bottom. You need to press F8 to activate this command. So you can practically draw lines at 90 degrees interval. So now after pressing ortho on, you should be selecting first one, and let us draw horizontal line. Let us type from your keyboard 20 and press enter. So you will be having 120 mm line, but still your line command is not terminated. So terminate the line command, you should press enter or escape. So let us press enter. After pressing enter, you will be having line. So now let us measure the length of line by quick dimension toolbar and by clicking on first point and the last point. So we'll be having the line length as what? 20 mm. Now let us suppose if we want to draw now line at any particular degrees angle, then what to do? So very easy. Let us select the line first. So we'll be selecting the line from your toolbar. So now let us select your line from your toolbar. So I am pressing the toolbar line icon. Then press click anywhere on your screen. Then now you should switch off your ortho mode. So to switch off ortho mode, you should press F8. So I will be pressing F8. So you will be having switched off your ortho mode. Now you can see you can practically draw a line at any particular angle you want. So now let us hold somewhere and let us type in 15 and then press tab and let us enter the angle which is 45 degrees in our case and press enter. So you have one line generated. To terminate command, press enter. Now let us measure the angle of this line and length. So for that, let us draw one reference line. So press L, enter. We'll be drawing one horizontal reference line, arbitrary length. Then after, let us go to annotation tab and we'll be selecting the angular dimension and we'll be measuring this dimension. So let us measure this dimension. So as you can see, this dimension is what? It is 45 degrees, right? So now let us select the quick dimension tool from annotation and let us measure the length of the line. So length of the line would be what? Of 15 mm. Now, let us suppose if we need to draw now a line in downward direction, then what to do? So, following similar steps. So, now for that, let us press L and enter. Your line command is activated. Let us start with the start point. So, click on the start point of this line. So, I will be pressing the left click and I will be drawing one line. So, similar fashion. So, let us suppose I need to draw 20 mm line at 30 degrees. So, let us type 20. Then press tab from your keyboard and let us write down angle as 30 degrees and then press enter. And to terminate command, press one more enter, you can terminate the command. So now you can see your line is generated. Let us measure the angle by angular annotation. So angular annotation will be measuring this angle. So angle will be what? 30 degrees. Then after, let us take a quick dimension toolbar. So in quick dimension toolbar, we can measure the length. So we will be measuring the length as 20 mm. So by this you can draw practically the horizontal, vertical and as well as the inclined line. Very easy. Now let us suppose I need to draw a closed object. So let us see the method to draw a closed object because line command doesn't terminate till we want. So let us press L, enter. Let us draw one arbitrary horizontal line of 25 mm by ortho mode on, press F8 and draw this line. We'll be having one vertical line of 10 mm, then horizontal line of 20 mm. Then we can draw any arbitrary vertical line of any particular mm. Then you can go left by 20 mm. And let us once again draw another one more horizontal line of 20 mm. Then you should draw another any different measurement 12 mm vertical. Then you can go left somewhere, click on the screen, and then finally you can press C, enter, or you can directly place on the starting point. So you will be having this particular image generated. So you can draw close object by this line command also. So now let us move to the next command, polyline command. So polyline command, you can draw the combination of lines like straight lines and curves. So let us place polyline and let us draw one arbitrary line, horizontal line. So we will be drawing one arbitrary horizontal line here first. Then one vertical or arbitrary line, click somewhere on the screen, then horizontal line. Now we need to draw one curve. So let us go onto the command line and place the arc and we'll be drawing one arc. Then let us draw another arc down there. Then after, let us go to your command line and paste to your line option. And then let us draw one line, then one vertical line, then horizontal line. Then let us go to command line and let us select arc and you can draw arc now. Now we'll be selecting center, so we can define the center of this arc first, and then after around this center we'll be having the curve generated. So now we have curve generated. Then once again let us generate the arc, so we'll be generating another arc from this curve. So let us generate arc. Now we need to draw the straight line, so let us go to the command line and let us select the straight line. Now let us draw one vertical straight line and click somewhere arbitrarily, and let us find out draw horizontal line and let us close the object. This is nothing but what? Your polyline command. Very easy. So now let us move and let us see one more command, a circle command. So most important command, you can select circles from your ribbons. You can go to draw tab and you can select circle from there. You have a total of 6 commands as you can see. You can directly go to command line and you can press C, enter, you will be having circle activated. We'll be learning first command, center and radius. So press center and radius. Click somewhere to define the center, then enter the radius is equal to 10 mm, so 10, enter, we will be having this circle generated. Then after, let us measure the radius, so we will be going into the annotation and let us select the radius and we will be measuring this radius. So R10 means radius is 10. Then after, let us draw second command, so we will be having center and diameter, so center, please specify center and let us enter the diameter as 10 and press enter, you will be having one circle with the diameter 10. Let us find out in annotation the diameter, so diameter, and we will be measuring the diameter diameter. So here 5 is equal to 10. So that means the diameter is what? A 10. Now the next one we'll be learning about is a 2-point circle and 3-point circle. So let me draw for illustration purpose 2 lines, and on these 2 lines I will be showing you this command 2-point and 3-point circles. So I will be drawing one straight line by pressing L enter. I will be drawing one other line parallel to this line in order to show you the 2-point command. So let me draw one other line below this line of the same length. So I will be drawing the same line. So I will be having total of 2 lines. Now let us understand your 2-point command. So let me select your 2 point from your circle. So let us go to circle ribbon. Let us select the 2p command or 2-point command. Let us select the first point of this line. Now second point and release. So you will be having this circle. So let us select once again 2-point command. Select your first point, select your second point, and you will be having this circle there. Now let me draw one third circle. So I will be selecting first command the center point and the center point of another line. I will be having a circle ready. So this is your 2-point command. Now what is the next one? So next command is your 3-point circle command. So for 3-point I will be drawing a 3 rectangles, and I will be selecting 3 different corner points of rectangles, and from that I will be passing my circle. So I will be drawing 3 rectangles first. So let me draw first 3 rectangles. Don't worry, this is just for an illustration purpose only. So I will be just showing that 3 points I will be passing on circle. So let us select a 3-point command. Let us select the 3 corner points of a rectangle, and then you will be having one circle passing from the 3 points of your rectangle. So as you can see, my circle is passing from the 3 corner points of a rectangle, that means from a 3 points. Now let us move ahead and see, we have 2 methods, tangent, tangent, radius, and tangent, tangent, tangent. So for that, let me draw a few of the more lines. I will be drawing one vertical line as well as one horizontal line. So after having one vertical line and horizontal line, I should go into a command and I should select a tangent, tangent, radius. So I will be selecting first line, first tangent, second line, second tangent. Then I should enter the radius as 10 and press enter. We will be having one circle generated by first tangent, second tangent, and by the given radius. We will be having this circle. Now let us move to a next command, which is what? A tangent, tangent, tangent command. So tangent, tangent, tangent command, let me draw 3 lines first and then I will illustrate. So I will be constructing 3 tangent lines. So let me draw 3 lines. First the horizontal line, then vertical line, and third would be the horizontal line. So any arbitrary lines. Then after, let us go to tangent, tangent, tangent command. Click, select first tangent line, second tangent line, and third tangent line. So very easy. So that is how you can draw circles by any of these methods, right? So now let us move to our next command, which is nothing but what? Arc command. So arc command, you have a number of options to do arc command, but in this case we'll be learning first 2 options. So let us start with the first point option, 3-point command. So you can select 3 points of the arc, first, second, and third. So you'll be having the arc generated. Now let us select the second command. In second command you have the start, center, and end. So you should define these 3 points. So start point I will be defining, then I should define the center point, and then I should define the end point. So I will be having this end point. So that's how I can draw these arcs, right? Very easy. So now let us move to our next command, which is nothing but what? A rectangle command. So rectangle command, you have 2 options, rectangle, polygon. I will be placing first rectangle. So you can place rectangle command and you can just click somewhere and you can draw the rectangle. Let us write down the values. So I will be write down 30, whatever value 10. So you will be having a rectangle. Then after, let us go to quick dimension toolbar and let us measure the dimension. So this dimension would be of 30 mm length and 10 mm as the width of the rectangle. So very easy, you can draw any of the rectangle by this method. Now let us move to a next command, which is nothing but what? A polygon command. You can draw any number of polygons, 3, 4, 5 sides, triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, anything. So we will be drawing pentagon. So click on polygon, enter the size 5, enter, select any center points. I will be selecting the center point. Then I should just stretch by mouse click. I will be having circumscribe and inscribe the circle. So I will be selecting inscribe the circle. That means my polygon would be inside my circle. So let us select the center point of your circle. Now you should enter the radius of the circle. So we define the radius of the circle. So let's say the circle radius is 8. I will be having this polygon inside the 8 radius circle. So let me draw one circle in order to give you a understanding. So I will be measuring this radius. So as you can see, now my polygon is inside the circle. That means inscribe the circle. So this is the way you can draw a polygon inside the circle. Now let us select once again polygon. So we'll be drawing one polygon this time, circumscribe polygon. So you can enter poly or pole and enter. You will be having polygon command activate. Click somewhere, define the radius, center, then enter 5 and enter. Then we'll be selecting circumscribe and let us draw this pentagon by radius 8, same. So now let me draw the circle, and let me give you the understanding that circumscribe means your polygon would be outside the circle. So outside the circumference of the circle, that means it is known as a circumscribed polygon. So you can see in the first case your polygon is inside, means inscribed, and second case your polygon is outside the circle, means circumscribed. Now let us see the third option of polygon. So pole, enter. We'll be having this polygon of 6 sides this time. So now we'll be seeing options. So let us go to command window and let us place on the edge. So we'll be drawing polygon from the edge. So let us draw the edge. So let me define the edge as 8 mm. So I will be placing 8 and enter. So this is nothing but what? My hexagon generated of 8 sides. Each of the sides of hexagon would be 8. So let me draw and measure the sides. So it will be of 8 mm, right? Very easy. So directly you can draw by the sides of a polygon. Now let me draw one circle. So I will be drawing one circle. So circle radius, if I measure, so let me measure the radius of the circle. So you can have this radius of the circle as 8 mm. So let us check. The radius of circle is what? 8 mm. So this is how you can draw a polygon into a drawing. Now let us move to the next command, which is nothing but what? An ellipse command. You can draw ellipse by this method. So you can select these 3 methods. We'll be learning first method only in today's lecture. So first describe the center, then describe is half the distance of your major axis. I will be defining half the distance of the major axis. You can write down anything. So I will be write down 20. And now I should define the half of the minor axis, vertical distance. So let me define half minor axis as a 5. So I will be having this half of the minor axis as a 5. Now let me measure the total major axis dimension. So this will be 40 obviously, because half the major axis is 20, so total is 40 major axis. And let me measure the vertical distance or the minor axis as 10. So this is how you can draw your ellipse. Right? Now let us move ahead and let us see one more command, which is a hatch command. So whenever you are cutting any object, you will be placing a hatch symbol over the object, which is showing the cut portion. So we'll be providing by hatch command. So let me draw first 3 objects onto which I will be providing hatching. So I will be having 3 circles. So first circle I have drawn. I will be making a copy of this circle by copy command. So let me make copies. So I will be having a total of 3 circles, and I will show you 3 different type of hatching in these 3 circles. So now let us click on hatch command. Then you need to select the area to hatch. You should always you should always click onto the enclosed surface. I will be having hatching. Now if you need to change the pattern, you should select the pattern. So you will be having this hatching pattern. Then after you should press enter in order to terminate the command. Now let me give you another hatch. So a hatch once again. Select the internal portion of your object. And now let us change the pattern of this hatch by solid pattern. This will be solid pattern. Now let me give you a third pattern. So for that I will be clicking on hatch once again. Let us select the internal portion, and then after let me change this portion to one color gradient style. So I will be selecting this color gradient style. So let me select any of the style, and I can select this style and press enter. So you can practically have 3 types: 45-degree lines, solid pattern, and color gradient. You can have different types. As you can see, if you go down, you can have different types also. So this is how you can give practically the hatch. Now, then after let us move to next command. So what is the next command? So next command is ray command. So you know that ray means you will be having one source and you will be having multiple lines generated from the source, like sun. So you will be selecting any start point, and from that point you will be having infinite long lines. So let us select my start point, and I can draw infinite long line from the start point in any direction. If the ortho mode is on, you can draw the lines at 90-degree interval, and when you switch off the ortho mode, you can draw practically at any degree angle. You should just pick your cursor and you should press left click, and you will be having number of lines generated. So this is nothing but ray command. You can directly type in ray into command line and you can operate this command. So this is very easy. Then let us see the construction line command. command. So construction line command. So in construction line command, you can actually generate the construction line. So many times we need to have a construction line for reference purpose. We can have horizontal, vertical, angular, bisectant, and the offset lines. We'll be selecting horizontal first. So let me draw horizontal construction line first. It will be an infinite long line. You can just click anywhere in order to have your line generated. So these are my horizontal line. Let me go and select now a vertical line. So once again, you can press X line or XL and enter. You can operate your construction line command. So I will be having a vertical option. I will be drawing vertical lines. So I can draw vertical lines by clicking like this. Then let me draw angular lines. So for angular line, let us first activate the command XL enter. You can press the command line your angle and you can generate your line at angle. So you press reference and select the reference line and now you can have angle. So let us just press 45 degree and I will be having the line 45 degree to that line. So I can generate 45 degrees in the reference to the horizontal line. So that's how I can use my construction line. Now donut command. So you can generate a donut shape like having a circular ring shape like this. So you can generate by your donut command. So in donut command, you can select the donut command, then you should prescribe the inside radius, then and you should prescribe the outside radius. So let me give the inside diameter as 5 and outside diameter as 20. So I will be having one donut ready. So after having this donut stem, you should just click wherever you want this donut. So you can have a number of donuts stems ready. Right? Very easy. Now let us suppose I want a complete solid donut without having the internal hole. Then let us select once again a donut command. So I can go to screen, I can press a donut, I can write the donut and I will be asked for the radius. So I will be placing the 0 as the inside diameter and outside diameter as 25 or 20, you can place anything. So I will be taking 25, I will be having stem, you should place the click or left click and you will be having this donut square. So this is how you can have your donuts into your AutoCAD drawing. In this, you are having a solid donut, right? So now let us move to our next command. So you can select objects by Control A and you can delete. Now multi-line. You can draw multiple lines. So while drawing a single line, you can have parallel lines generated to that line. It is known as a multi-line command. So I will be having total 3 options in multi-line command. So let us see total 3 options. First, justification, scale and style. Justification means original with the reference to original line where you want the another parallel line. So justification, if you select top, that means your top line would be your original line and it will draw parallel lines to that original line. So let me select top and let me select the scale as 5 or 10. Right? So now let me draw this line. So as you can see, we have selected the top justification. That means our top line would be our original line. So as you can see, our cursor is at the top. That means it is showing that our original line is at the top, and the bottom line is automatically drawn because it's a multi-line. So it is automatically drawing the line parallel to your top line. So this is how your top justification works. Top line is our original line, and you are having one line parallel to this in the bottom. It is a top justification command. Now once again ML enter, multi-line enter. Now let us select a justification to bottom this time. So we will be selecting justification to bottom. You can change the scale. So you can change the scale. So you can use a scale maybe of 2 or 3. So we have selected 2. Let us draw the lines. As you can see, our cursor is in the bottom line. That means our original line is bottom line, and it is automatically giving us a line parallel to this bottom line, which is a top line. So this is nothing but your bottom justification. Bottom line, original line, and top line is automatically drawn parallel line. This is how your multi-line concept works. It is very useful in order to draw your plan layouts in civil engineering. So this is how you can see that bottom justification you will be having original line when you select as bottom line, and when you in the top justification your top line is original line and another line is the automatically generated parallel line. So this is how multi-line works. Now let us see 0 justification. So ML enter. Let us select 0 this time, and we can select any scale. So press scale, and you will have any of the scales. We will be having 10 as a scale. So now let's draw a line. So we will be having 0. That means we will be having cursor at the middle point. So the top and bottom lines are automatically drawn parallel lines, and the central line is not visible because center is a reference point. So by the selection you can see that our actual line was drawn by the center point, but it is invisible, but we are having two parallel lines generated on the top and bottom, which are nothing but the zero justification multi-lines. This is the concept of multi-line. Now let us see spline command. Spline command, that means if you want to generate the curved surfaces or curved image, then you can use the spline command. Spline, enter, then you can select the points in order to draw the curve. So let us select the points. So I will be just selecting the points, so I can generate any length and size of the curve by selecting point anywhere on your screen like this, right? Very easy. Now let us suppose I need to just edit this line. So what I need to do, I need to just select this line, and by selection you can press on any of the point and you can just click somewhere other. You can have this spline edited as per your requirement. So this is how you can edit your spline in your AutoCAD. Very easy. So now let us come to text commands. How to write text into AutoCAD. So you can go into draw and you will have text. You will have two options, multi-line and single line. You can write down text in multiple lines, and it will be having the second command in that you can write in this single line text. So in single line text, we will be having only a single line text. If you press enter, it will consider it as a second line and it will take as a different text. So let us see first a single line text. After selecting single line text from the window, you should select the start point of the text. Let us click anywhere. Let us specify the height of the text. So I will be specifying the height of the text as 10. So let us write down 10 and enter. Then it will ask the direction of the text, which degree you want to cross. I will be selecting 0. That means I need to cross the horizontally. Then it will give us one cursor. Then I can write down the text like this. So this is a single line text. So I will be writing down this is a single line text, and it is actually. But when you press enter, it will let you enter the new text, but it will not consider to be the part of this single line, right? So this is not a single line text. The second text is not a single line text, and you should press escape and you can come out from this command. So as you can see, this is considering both a different text. So I can, when I am selecting, I can transfer this text. So both texts are not of the same line. It is considering after the enter as a new line. So always remember, when you select the single line, it is considering after enter line as a new line. So now let us go and select the multi-line. So let us go to draw toolbar and we will be selecting now this time the multi-line text. Let's click multi-line. We will be having cursor. We need to just find out the area where we need to write. Let us write down. So this is a multi-line text, right? So multi-line text in which you can even edit, you can give coloring, you can give bold, italic, underline, you can have different layers applied to this, you can even apply the justification, you can apply the column styles, you can apply a lot of things into multi-line text. So you can write, edit, format, and you can do practically anything into this multi-line text. So that's why multi-line text is majorly used into AutoCAD. You should just click outside of the window and you will get multi-line text. You can just edit the window's size. So this is a multi-line text. When you double click the multi-line text, so let us double click the multi-line text. So when you double click this multi-line text, what happens? So when you double click the multi-line text, you can have the ribbon generated in which you can edit this multi-line text. You can change the size of the text. So let us change the size 15. You should select the text and you should change the size. You can say give it bold, italic. You can even strike out. You can even change the color or even change the font. I'll be changing the font to any of the font from listed below. I can change the color even, so I will be selecting to red. I can select the justification. So let us try the different justification. So that is the flexibility which we are having in multi-line text. That's why multi-line text are majorly used into AutoCAD software. So let me get back to this new size. And when you are okay, you should just press outside, click outside, and you will be having this multi-line text. So in single line text, if you double click, it will not let you edit, or it will not give you any other formatting options. It can just let you delete or enter the new text into the same line, but that is not sufficient. So that's why I will advise you to always use this multi-line text. So this is all from my side. If you have liked and enjoyed my lecture, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Keep learning, stay connected. Bye bye.